Okay. So hello guys. Welcome back to Emperor Show on Invitational Pros Scrims. So I'm your own Saints Gaming right here, and I'm joined by Zabon. So as you can see, the game one of Emperor's Showdown has just begun, and there are players right there in the PI region. There are players in downtown, standoff as well as nuclear plant. I might be quite slow today because I'm not doing too good with my health, and it has been a couple of days. I have been facing some issues with my voice, so kindly bear with me, and I apologize for the same. As you can see, we have 30 seconds left to start the game. So let's see which of places the players are gonna drop and are gonna gain their loot and gonna engage in the initial fight with their opponents, and which team is gonna survive to the very last end and are gonna make their clan or squad as the ultimate victors in game one of Emperor Showdown. So as you can see, the game is about to start, and they are mission prepped. So there you guys have it. The flight path is actually from the region of countdown towards radar base. It's like a flight path which divides the map into two equal halves, allowing players to drop in their area of liking. So as you can see, some of the players have already departed from the flight and are making way towards their drop locations. There are actually two teams trying to land in crash region, but they have actually departed. They have actually parted their ways, and there are no two teams in crash anymore. One team in kill house, one in launch base. And they guys have it in the region of platform. This CG talking takes down JET. This is CG versus END right there. PGP Shelter takes down CBD. CBD takes down BGP Shelter. CB Tuskers takes down BGP Killer. Luna from ENT snipes down CG. Dosser. From the case of CG, they are actually trying to pursue the players. And Adi Dial from ENT was taken down from the part of CG. The player remaining for ENT is Luna Whitey. HS Crack takes down Wicked Esports Watson. So for the case of Luna Whitey from ENT, he's actually making his way, trying to take the tags of his teammates. PGP Nightmare takes down UNK Boss Whitey, and UNT Defect is also down. HS and Cracked is also taken down from the part of 3 Extreme. Dolly Mitchell from CBD takes down Dark Side, as well as BJP Vagabond. There's an open performance on the part of CBD right there. 3 Extreme Gaming was taken down from the part of RSG. Protection for the team of XPELL. So as you can see, the team members are trying to survive their way towards the game right there. For the case of TR Smith 69 and Insane are also made their way right towards the region of platform. If CG got kicked versus TR Smith 69, TR Smith 69 was taken down from the part of CG got kicked. But for the case of Insane jumps into action, but they're trying to blow up his. They guys have it. Insane was taken down from the part of CG got kicked. Really on the other side, takes down the charm. As you can see, CG intensifies, trying to pursue Luna Whitey from ENT. It's Luna Whitey versus 3 Extreme, and 3 Extreme Gaming breaks down this. So CG God King is trying to pursue Luna Whitey right here, but Luna Whitey is not getting away. He's actually trying to flee the location. And there guys have it. Luna Whitey from ENT was taken down from the part of CG intensified. And that gives us an end for the fight in the platform region. The GGs to see Team CG actually performing their very best in their initial fight. When you go to the rest of the fights, their initial encounters between HSN as well as 3 Extreme and CBD versus BJP and 3 Extreme actually 3-way their way into the fight, and UNK getting their toll down in the game. So we have seen a good amount of initial fights in the game. There are a lot of initial encounters, and you guys have it. UNK Heaven takes down Denix, and his kill has been confirmed. So that UNK is also trying to push back from the initial losses they encountered right there in the count-out region. But UNK Heaven is being shot for the point. And there is Heaven. UNK Pegasus takes down UNK Heaven. BGP Nightmare takes down Karma OP from Team Z. I think this has been a team swap. I don't know because there's UNK Pegasus, also Ravage God, and BGP Nightmare in the team. I don't know whether that has been classified as a single team right now, but I'm not too sure. But in the case of UNK, Nefek right there top behind, he's waiting it out. I'm guessing that he wants to wait it out until he will be able to engage in a later on fight. But he is the only last member remaining from K2 from that is from UNK, and he's trying to make his way right towards the tags of his smaller teammates. But the team of E3, that's the Ravage God, UNK Pegasus, and BGP Nightmare are still waiting right there not to take them down. For the case of Team XPELL, Ruku and Kalnaik were taken down to the part of Storm to the set by blowing up their vehicle in which they traveled. So that's an OP performance from Storm Twister from Team Z. They were able to take down two of the members, but they are actually making their way right to the RSG Playboy. But it's like a 1v3 situation right there. RSG Playboy is being called from all the directions. He's being followed. 4 players are trying to pursue the members of RSG Playboy. And that's RSG Playboy right there. Versus that, but RSG Playboy was taken down for the part of Not Momo was dead. For the case of the team, they were Carl Naik as well as Ruku was able to make his way back to the fight. But the only fully equipped player that is left in the team is RSG Virus. Let's see whether this team will be able to pull their way from the losses they had and make their team survive to the very last end for the final clash. So as you can see, the fight has been going on pretty well now. We have 52 members remaining out of the total 68. We have had ENT getting wiped at the initial spree, and for the case of HRZ, they are also taken down. CG has been pushing their maximum in the game, and for the case of TR, TR is actually dominated in the platform region. I don't know why they're putting up emotes. So Fauji Teddy puts up an emote against TR Micro and TR I don't know, they might be moving around. Our Ref Exploit takes down UNK. He has been taken down. The remaining player from UNK is UNK Heaven. So as I said, in the Platinum region, the members of there are 4 members are not giving their way out. They are waiting. They guys have it. UNK Heaven versus the opponents. They guys have it. They are popping at shotguns as they can, and UNK Heaven is being shotguns from the directions, and UNK Pegasus and team are firing right towards them. They are trying to scan his tags. Okay, that was a total what to say, mix over of games right there for you guys. But I don't know what happened right there. They were giving his way for UNK to scan their tags, but I'm not sure. Great from ENT takes so Lala 078 using a sniper and CG Sub-Zero shotguns down their opponents. That's CG versus Exotic. Exotic Cyrus Ultron are taken down. Deadshot is also taken down. And the case of Exotic is wiped. Exotic is right from the part of CG. They were actually pushing their maximum today. CG is actually towards more into brutal as well as a push and a forward game today. They have put up their fight against TR as well as ENT. Now the third fight is against Exotic, in which they were able to succeed. They guys have it. Good God goes from ENT, snipes down LSD, Johannes, LSD versus the second team of ENT. LSD is down, and then his LSD white was taken from ENT, and LSD kick Drake as well as LSD, the last remaining player of LSD, has been taken down for the part of ENT. That was a cute wipe. LSD put up their good fight right there. They were trying to hold their ground. They tried to bounce their way back from the loss they had, but ENT was quick enough to take down the team of LSD, GG's to team LSD, as well as GG's to team ENT for such a A brutal performance right there. So we are having a lot of team vibes today compared to losses of members. Usually, what you see is apparently you lose two or three members of your squad, and the last remaining person actually bounces away from there and then comes back for the tanks. But from what we see, we are actually facing a lot of team vibes. It is actually taking a big turn of revenge right there. And they guys have a Team XPELL versus Momo said has taken his second part right now. Team Z, not Momo from Team Z, takes down Al Nayak from Team XPELL. So they guys have it. Carl Nayak is down. And 3 Extreme is also trying to engage against the team that has engaged in the Sanitarium region. That's UNK Pegasus, Red Dog, and DGK Nightmare team. And they get a 3 Extreme Reaper and the game like just location and 3 Extreme effective takes the UNK Pegasus, and UNK Pegasus team are down, but they're getting shot from the opposite direction. They're going for the cover. 3 Extreme has been taken to the part of UNK Pegasus. Pegasus and team are pushing their way right towards the positions of 3 Extreme, but both these teams have lost one of their members. It's a 3v3 total war right there in the region of Firm. So as you can see, the 3 Extreme is trying to pop a sub-bullets right there towards UNK Pegasus, but UNK Pegasus makes his way right out of there. The UNK 3 Extreme right takes some shots from the part of the team of God, and I'm guessing that all the connecting takes on God. It's a fight between ENT as well as the team of TR. And the TR Micro FK takes some also using the sniper. He has been knocked down. And Force from AT takes down Insane. And CG Sub-Zero takes down one of the players. CG Comanche takes down CG Dosser. Hackerboy Z takes down RC Virus. RC Virus has been confirmed for the part of Hackerboy Z. And that was the OP performance on the part of the team that we see. There's a lot duration fight going on between Z as well as the team of Carline and the crew. So as we see, a lot of good fights that take place today. Genex takes down 3 Extreme, Crytek, leaving only 2 members active from the part of 3 Extreme. And Karma from E and he snipes down La 078. A lot of EBR, M21 EBR users today that we can see. So in the case of 3 Extreme, we are left with only 2 more players active, the 3 Extreme Reaper and 3 Extreme Gay. But one of the members of 3 Extreme Crytek is still KIA. They will have to scan his tag in order for him to return into the action. And there you guys have it. Good goes from END and gains against that team farm and takes down Genex. CBD Armor takes down NXG. NXG comments down. CBD Houdini is protected from the NXG Senpai. CBD Armor takes down one of the players. NXG Purple White takes down CBD Armor. And there you guys have it. NXG versus CBD. Both these teams are taking a little bit of a toll right there. NXG Hydra was taken down. NXG Hydra is being picked up from the part. And for the case of CBD only has 2 more members left. And CBD Death Rush and Dole Bindra. And I see Hydra Whitey will get a spot from the Russians. And Hydra Whitey, CBD Death Rush is being taken out from the part of NXG Purple Whitey. But NXG Purple Whitey is being engaged on the part of Dolly Bindra. Dolly Bindra comes and takes down NXG Purple Whitey. But NXG Hydra Whitey is right there, waiting for the right moment to confirm. But I'm guessing that NXG Hydra Whitey is not engaging as of now. But CG got King in the right way, takes out the Wicked Sports Insanity, and Wicked Sports Insanity is down. We have only 20 members left active. In the battlefield, CG Sub-Zero takes down Wicked Sports Warsoul. And CG Sub-Zero takes down Wicked Sports A as well. So I'm guessing that Wicked Sports team has been confirmed KIA. So as we see, END is also engaging a little bit of a sniper warfare right here. CG versus team of END. CG 35 team are waiting right here for the right moment to strike. Both as CG 35 was being taken out in the part of God Cross END. One of the players are down. For the case of Grid has been taken out from the part of CG Sub-Zero. It's CG Sub-Zero versus Good Ghost. But they guys have it. CG Drosser versus takes down the Good Ghost as well as Force END. Giving only 1 more player left active in the battlefield. It's Karma from END. Karma from END is right next to the members of CG. He's actually trying to make his way out of there. He's not. He does not want to engage in the battle right now. But for the case of Karma, he's making his way right towards DGP Shensu. But DGP Shensu, I'm guessing that he has spotted the team. We are not quite sure what kind of strategy he's going to use to make sure that he survives. But for the case of the DGP Shenshu, it's much better that he does not engage in a fight right now, as that area is quite blended with teams. It's much more appropriate that he makes his way towards nearby vehicle. CG God King takes over the last member of EAT, then wiping EAT, that's Karma. So we have only 60 players left in action. 3x3 Brothers also engages in a fight, and 3x3 is in good power today. 3x3 Crichton gets knocked out again. They are left with only 3 more members, 3x3 Brothers, Reaper, as well as 3x3 Gaming. So for the case of Crichton, his stacks are not quite far away. He will have to return back for the stacks. Storm says then gets knocked out. I don't know from which cause, by these the sword. For the case of NXG, they are also left with only one more player, that's NXG Hydra. 22 seconds later, he may be able to get his teammates back, but survivability is the key for that long-lasting 10 seconds as of now. Storm Twister's kill has been confirmed. He's been knocked down and not confirmed. So as you can see, there's a lot of good fights going on today. CG God King also gets knocked out on the same way. They are all outside the sword, and they are having a difficult time making it towards the sword. And they just have it. BGP Shenshu was waiting right there for the right instance to take out the Steppers. And BGP Shenshu is being engaged in the part of CG Sub-Zero, and BGP Shenshu is taken down. But for the case they have lost one of their players, that is BG God King. EG Chapacho is being engaged from CG Sub-Zero. He just made his way right back from the sword, but he's trying to make his way to the sword, pushing as he can go. But he's getting knocked out. He's losing his health, but the CG Sub-Zero is pursuing EG Chapacho as he could. And EG Chapacho is taken down from the part of CG Sub-Zero. But for the case of CG, they're making their way right next to NXG. So we may see an encounter between NXG as well as CG. For the case of Team said, Hackerboy said, Snipes now 3x3 Reaper. So they will have a 3x3 Reaper as been dead and confirmed. He has been knocked and confirmed. So it's Team said versus 3x3. It's kind of a 4 situation right there, because we only have 2 players active from the part of 3x3. It's 3x3 Gaming as well as 3x3 the rest. They will have to position more of position 3 right there in order to see whether they can survive this fight. But NXT is right there next to them, waiting for the right moment to strike. Team said. There you guys have it. It's NXG was but 3x3 as well as 3x3 Gaming was taken down from the bottom Storm Twister. Then they made actually a good strategy right. The GG's to 3x3 the team till extreme. They made a good strategy right there, trying to use a kind of a diversion strategy. They were able to do it for the initial spree, but the lack of manpower, they were not able to complete it. But GG's to Team 3x3 for such a good strategy being employed. But for the case of Team Z, they have actually won that with their fight right there in spree. CG Intensify takes the next Z by. And Team Z tries to engage against CB Death Crush right there, but CB Death Crush is being fought down, and CB Death Crush was taken down on the part of Team Z. It's NXG versus CG. CG Sub-Zero takes down NXG Purple YT, and NXG Hydra YT is also taken down, and the team of NXG has been wiped out. For the case of BGP, they have still a player left in action, that is La 078. So for this cutscene, it's like a 3v1 situation right here for guys. 3 players for the part of CG, 3 for the part of Team Z, and 1 for the part of BJP. Hacker Point Z is trying to land a few shots on the members of BJP, that is La 078. This might be a good opportunity for CG to push right towards the members of Team Z. But Team Z has been found to be a very brilliant team where they will engage in a very good fight. They guys have a stop system was taken down from the part of team La La La, but La 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 gets taken down from the part of user said. But before going, he was able to take down stop twister. Now it's a 3v2 situation. Hacker Boy said is in the light fire of user said is in the light fire of CG Sub Zero, and they guys have it. CG Sub Zero was taken out from the part of user there, and the skill has been confirmed. CG Intensified tries to engage right towards user said. Is user said versus CG Intensified, and you see CG Intensified was taken out from the part of user said. It's a 2v1 situation right there for guys, but CG also uses day to take down user said. It's a 1v1 brutal fight right for you guys, but user said jumps into acrobatics just ending, jumps into action, taking out CG Tosser. So what we saw right now was peak performance. Hacker Boy, Zed, and his team of Team Z were able to draw their team to the victor's position in Game 1 of Emperor's Showdown. They were quite salient in their approach today. They were good at an initial fight. They were pushing their way towards victory. They had their strategy employed from the very start. To GG's to Team Z. In the MVP position, we have Useras with a total kill of 8. In the second position, we have Hacker Boys with 4. Not Mobo, third position with 2 kills. At the fourth position, we have Stormstar with 2 kills. GG's to Team Z. If we go back to the rest of the results, we can see that in the second position we have the CG King with 7 kills, Sub-Zero with 9, Drawson with 9, Intensify with 3. GG's to Team CG for such an OP display of gameplay. In the third position we have BGP Shenshu with 1, Tabachi with 1, Adama with 0, and La 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 07 with 0. Fourth position we have NX with Purple Whitey with 1, Hydra Whitey with 0, Com with 0, and Senpai with 1. Fifth position we have CBD Houdini with 1, Dolly Mitra with 4. Setcrash with 2 and Arban with 2. Sixth position, we have 3 Extreme Crytek with 1, Extreme Gaming with 6, Reaper with 2, and Risk with 3. Seventh position, we have Karma from EAT with 3, God Ghost with 5, Great with 3, and Force with 1. Eighth position, we have Raider with 0, Wicked Sports, Insanity with 0, Wicked Sports A with 0, Watson with 0. Ninth position, we have Ruku with 0, RG Virus with 0, Call9 with 0, RG Playboy with 0. 10th position, we have BJP Nightmare with 4, UNK Pegasus with 4, Genix with 2, Revex God with 2, left position, we have TR Split 69 with 0, Pauji Teddy with 0, TR Micro FK with 0, Insane with 0, 12th position, we have LST Kick Trade with 0, LST Hade with 0, LST Wine with 0, and LST Area with 0. 13th position, we have XOTIC Ultron with 0, Dextron with 0, Azirus with 0, Nabel with 0. 14th position, we have UNK Heaven with 2, Defex with 0, Cargo OP from Team Z with 0, and UNK Boss Mighty with 0. 15th position, we have Decoy from Ari with 0, and 16th position, we have Adi9 from ENT with 0, Ahmad from ENT with 0, Luna Mighty from ENT with 1, and J from ENT with 0. 17th position, we have Z from with 0, Charm with 0, and plus a crack with 1, and Archie Texture with 1. 18th position, we have Dark Side with 1, BGP Killer with 1, BGP Sheldon with 1, and BGP Vagabond with 1. GG's to Team Z for gaining the first position in Emperor's Esports Game 1, Emperor's Showdown Asian Invitational Pro Scrims in Game 1. That's it. And GG's to Team CG as well as BGP for confirming their second and third positions respectively. So that brings us a wrap for Game 1. So within a few minutes, we'll be back at it in Game 2. So until then, get prepped up, get excited for an intense gameplay right here in Emperor's Showdown. So we'll be back at it within a few minutes. Hello guys. We are back at it and game two of the showdown. I will say this game is right here. I'm from Simone. The game one we saw that gameplay where Team Z was able to dominate and become the victors by various teams. They were able to actually survive to the very last end and make sure that their team climbed the paths of victory. So we are back at it in game two. So let's see which team it's got a clash to the very last end and make sure that their team survives and wins the game two of Emperor Showdown right here for you guys. So as you can see, there are teams right there in the firm region, there are teams in nuclear plant, there are teams in Harbor as well as in downtown. So we have only 50 more seconds to start the game, and this 50 seconds is very crucial as teams can actually plan which to see and decide where they'll be dropping and to understand the strategy they are gonna implement. So let's see at which places the teams are gonna drop and which fights which teams are gonna go for their initial clash. The flight path is actually from nearby from Duke-town to Dormitory region. So this is also kind of a half dividing map. So let's see. Some of the teams have already made their way out of the flight and are making their way towards their drop locations. Let's go to the platform beach. There are two teams in the platform beach. That is CG. CG Sub-Zero was taken from part of Arena from BNT. CG Intensive Tech is getting a shot from his own location, and Abad he was taken down from this part of Abad team. For the case of CG, they are only left with one more player, that CG Trosser. CG God King was also taken down from the part of RB Knife and AD. So CG Trosser is the last remaining pair. HS Joy takes down PhD Crytek as well as PhD Gaming. RG Virus and Playboy was taken down from the part of Stormless bed. So get that. The team of RG is facing a little bit of fish right there. But Carly jumps into action, taking up Stormless to Z. Charm, on the other hand, is trying to engage his way right towards their opponent teams in the black market region. It's 3 Extreme Risk versus the team members, but 3 Extreme Risk and the team of 3 Extreme Risk gets taken down from the part of HRZ. But Wicked Esports is right next to the members of HRZ. And they guys have it. Charm, the remaining player of the HRZ, was taken down to the part of Wicked Esports A. So 3 Extreme, Wicked Esports, 3 Extreme as well as Team Z, as well as HRZ are down. The remaining team that's dominating in the region is Wicked Esports. As you can see, RG section is also right there. The section may be engaged for the part of Wicked Esports Insanity right there, because Wicked Esports Insanity is waiting for the right time to strike. For the case of RSG section deploys a trap in which one of the members just gets trapped, and they guys have it. Wicked Esports Insanity was taken off for the part of RSG section. RSG section jumps down, but is he followed from the part of Raiden. His RSG section is Raiden, but Raiden jumps down. He was unable to find the RSG section, but RSG section is trying to make his way right towards the enemy positions. But he's being engaged from 3 members. As of now, Wicked Esports Warsoon is trying to find his way right towards the path of section right here. RG section takes out Victory Sports A as well. Only two more members remaining. That's Raiden as well as Victory Sports Boston. Remember, guys, this is a 1v4 warfare. He was able to take down two of the members of Victory Sports, leaving only two more members active in the battlefield. Tarajitex is right there in the building, waiting for the right opportunity. Right, Architect tries to jump down. I'm not sure of what kind of strategy he's trying to use. Architect gets shot down, gets shot from the part of the police force also, but he escapes with some health back. But he's being followed from his teammates. But the police force also gets trapped using RSG detection, using his trap master. For the case of Wiggins Sports Boston, they are still in the 3 to lead against RSG detection. But eventually, now RSG detection was taken down from the part of Wiggins Sports. I think the enough low gameplay has been displayed as of now. We have quite some initial fights right there. In the last game, ENT was taken out from the part of CG, but ENT was able to take down CG in this game, and CG is only left with one more player, that's CG, but he was able to bring back three of his members. Darkseid takes a UN effect, Darkseid from BGP, so they have it. UNK FX has been taken down. They are actually confirmed. They're actually put their ground in the sanitary region, and UNK Pegasus is waiting right there for the right opportunity to strike. But the dark side tried to gain entry into the room of UNK Pegasus, but due to the due to such a stringent situation right there of entry, he tried to skip it out. In the case of UNK Pegasus, he was taken down from Dark when he tried to jump down. So they have it. They are trying to engage right towards the teams of E2. And the UNK Pegasus still has been confirmed for the part of Dark side. They are battling it out right in the sanitarium region. And UNK Heaven as well as UNK Arrow is right beside them, trying to engage in their battle gameplay. And they guys have it. Darkseid is trying to find a way towards his opponents. He's trying to make sure and understand the strategy they are going to use as of now. UNK Heaven is right next to Darkseid, but Darkseid does not engage in a fight right now. And UNK Heaven was taken out to the bottom of the killer. Darkseid is getting shot, but he takes cover. But VGP Sheltag takes down UNK Arrow. And US Karma OP from from UNK versus Darkseid, but Darkseid was taken out on the part of Karma OP. BGP Killer takes down Karma OP Z, and BGP Shelter is right there trying to engage his way towards UNK Boss Whitey right there. UNK Boss Whitey is waiting for the right opportunity to strike, but UNK Boss Whitey is actually the next level of the building, just to the opposite side, so they will have to make their way right towards the position of UNK Boss Whitey. But UNK Boss Whitey has not moved an inch from his location. I'm guessing that he wants his opponents to come search for him. I'm guessing that he has a plan devised for the entry of his opponents. No one actually noticed that UNK boss boy, and he was right there next to them in that dumpster, but he's not moving at edge. I'm guessing that he wants the team of BJP to go from there. Then he can go back for the tags or the spoiler and spot base. So GG's to that. EG in the other instance is also trying to engage in a fight right next to them. But Raiden takes out Ahmad from END. It's like EAD versus Bikini Sports right there for guys. JEAD is trying to get his way of sniping towards the team of Bikini Sports. JEAD is in top of the building, but he was nailed out on the part of God Ghost of EAD. That was the OP day for the part of God Ghost, leaving only two more players active for the part of EAD. That is RB9 from EAD and Luna Whitey from EAD. But for the case of Luna Whitey from END, he's in a very tough situation as of now because he's being cornered from both his sides, and it is not advisable for him to engage in a fight as of now. But he's getting shot from the back. He's trying to use his ninja to gain his way out of there, but he may be engaged. It's very much soon enough. He's fallen from the part of the other people, END, but he makes his way right out of there. Karma from END snipes down Raiden from Bikini Sports, and this has been confirmed from the part of Karma from ND Sports. It's actually END versus Bikini Sports right there. And the other guy from END takes down Bikini Sports Insanity, and he has been out, and his kill has been confirmed. For the case of Bikini Sports, they're only left with two more players in Bikini Sports A and Boston. Team Bed user takes out BJP back upon by blowing up his vehicle, and the kill tackle has been confirmed. Bikini Sports A, as well as dead shots from XOTIC has been taken down. The REV Aditi takes down Not Momo from Team Red. And Aditi confirms the kill of Not Momo Z. RAVX God takes down User Z, but Luna Whitey from EAD was taken down from the part of CB. Death Crush was waiting right there for him. Stopped as a Z takes down UNK Pegasus, and kill has been confirmed. For the case of Aditi from EAD, he's trying to make his way right out of there. He's being followed from his enemy opponents, but let's see whether he'll be able to make his way towards his zone to gain back his foothold in the battlefield. BJP Shensu takes down RAV Aditi, and he's knocked down. Karma from BJP takes down was Boston, and RAV Aditi's kill has been confirmed on the part of BJP Shensu. END confirms the kill of Bikini Sports Boston. So it's like Bikini Sports versus EAD right there. But in the case of Adinai from EAD, is going straight towards the position of LSD. So LSD will be waiting right there for the right time to strike. They're having a lot of good fights today in game 2. They have the teams have engaged in a little bit of brutal warfare where there are a lot of straight fights. And things happen, but Raj from TNT takes out Raiden from Team Wicked Esports. For the case of Wicked Esports, they are only left with one more player, that Wicked Esports A. So let's see whether he'll be able to survive to the very last of the game. Luckily, he will be able to bring back his teammates and beginning sports charity and Watson. So they are back in action. Lala 078 traps down RV X God. That's the only plan on the part of Lala 078. Using his trap master to gain the attention of his opponent and then luring them into a trap. Wicked effect was taken out for the part of stop this from Team Z. And the hacker is dead, but has also been taken down. User said is only remaining player left in fight. He has been engaged from the part of EG Underbound, and he is the only player left in action, but it's quite near to Weekend Esports Charity as well. CG Cross takes shotguns down Karma OP from Team Z, and UNK Arrow has been taken out from the part of CG Sub-Zero. For the case of User said, it is not advisable for him to go out and venture out right now because he is in the crossfires of the sniper. CG Godking was taken out from the part of CG Godking takes a UNK Heaven and CG Cross shotgun down Karma OP Z and will have confirmed. And J from TNT snipes down La 078. And actually Purple White he takes down CB in Death Crush and the team of CBD is down. We have only 32 members left in action in the battlefield. And next you two double snipes from R9A and Victim Sport A has been taken out from the part of CG Drosser. And CG Sub-Zero takes the weakness for lawsuit. JAD was taken out from the part of Ono Crunch. And CG Sub-Zero takes down one of the opponents as well. LSD Johan, he's trying to snipe right towards the TNT, but Padra GAD takes LSD kick break, and LSD Gypsy has been taken out from the part of Red ENT. So, the LSD just lost two of their best players right now. LSD Gypsy has also been confirmed KIA. So the left members are LSD Johari as well as LSD Area, but Karma for the action taking out LSD Johari as well. So the LSD is left with only one more player, that is LSD Area as of now. So nearby Weekend Esports Charity, you can see that one of the opponents are storming right out these paths. So let's see whether they'll be able to manage the fight as well. Arminet from ENT takes out HP Shenshu using the shotgun. Oro Cringe has also been taken down from the part of Arminet, but Amari ENT was taken down from the part of BTP Shenshu and has been confirmed KIA. Karma ENT takes out LSK and LSK has been wiped. He draws a shotgun down Raiden, and Raiden still has been confirmed. And R9 from EAT confirms the kill of Oro Cringe. And he's exactly trying to make his way out of that situation using his power vehicle. DJ Crosser snipes out one of the players, but God goes ENT takes out Weekend Esports Charity by blowing up his vehicle. Karma from ENT takes out CG God King. Abi9 from ENT takes out NXT Senpai, and God goes ENT takes out CG Sub-Zero. CG Sub-Zero must counter take out from the top of the shelter. God goes ENT takes out one of the players which is taken out from the part of Karma. ENT is also taken out. ENT was taken out from the part of BTP. Sheldon, Abi9 ENT takes out NXT Senpai as well as teammates has been taken out. And actually Karma ENT was taken out from the part of Dark Side. OP performance, we only have 7 more members left in action in this whole battlefield, and the teams that are left are 2 players from the part of PAT, 1 from EG, and it's Adibov, and 2 players from BGP, 1 from Team Z, and 1 from CG. So, the team of PAT is trying to engage right towards the members of the BGP right there. BJP dark side versus Luna Whitey from ENT, but he was not able to confirm his shots right on Luna Whitey. And they will have it. It's BGP Vagabond versus CG Luna Whitey ENT, but BGP Vagabond was taken down. CG draws and takes down dark side as well. But it's like a 2v1v1 situation right now. It's Luna Whitey ENT and Abhinay ENT from ENT and Animal from BG and Useless from Team Z. I'm guessing that Abhinay from ENT has spotted Useless Z. It's Abhinay versus Useless Z, but we get case and you just have it. Abhinay takes down Useless Z, leaving only one more player left in action, that is EG Anubhav. So EG Anubhav is trying to make his way right towards Abhinay team, but he's getting shot from the direction. He's getting sniped. It will be much advisable for him he's trying to give away his skill outside the zone, and he was able to do that. That was no performance for the part of EG Anubhav. He actually gave away a skill outside the zone. But GG's team Z, Team Z actually won the game 1, as well as they were able to win game 2 as well. So GG's to Team Z for such an OP performance in Emperor Showdown Asian Invitationals. Those Scrims. So as you can see, when we go to the results, we have RB9 from END with 11 kills. I repeat, RB9 from END with 11 kills. GG's RB9, bro. And the second position we have Luna White from END with 1 kill. Third position we have Amani with 1 kill. And fourth position we have JEND with 1 kill. GG's Team Z. In the second position, we have EG. Ono Courage with 2 kills. Anima with 1. PGP Shen 2 with 2 and La Soul 7 with 2. Third position we have Useless Z with 4 kills, Dot Momo with 3, Stop Tester with 4, and Hacker. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry for announcing the results wrong. It is actually EAD that took the first position. I thought it was Team Z. It was actually a confusion that happened by part. I'm so sorry to GG's to the team of Abhinay from EAD taking 11 kills and Ahmad from EAD with 1 kill. And GAD with 1 kill and Luna YT was EAD with 1 kill. And there's been glitch in my screen that showed the results of Team Z. So sorry for that. In the second position, we have EG Anubhav with 1 kill, Ono Courage with 2 kills, BJP Shenshu with 2 kills, the La 078 with 2 kills. Third position, we have User Z with 4 kills, Not Momo with Z with 3 kills, Tom Twister Z with 4 kills, and Hacker Boy Z with 3 kills. Fourth position will be a Dark Side, BJP with 6 kills, BJP Killer with 2 kills, Zelda with 3 kills, and Vagabond with 0 kills. Fifth position, here we have CG God King with 1 kill, Sub-Zero with 2, Intensify with 0, and Ross with 5. Sixth position, we have Karma 80 with 6. Good Gauss with 3, Dread with 1, Kadraz with 2, Seventh position we have next Purple Whitey with 1, Hydra Whitey with 0, True Double with 0, Senpai with 0. Eighth position we have Wicked Sports Raider with 2, A with 1, Vincent with 0, Watson with 0. Ninth position we have UNK Arrow with 2, Lemon with 0, Boss Whitey with 0, and Karma OPZ with 1. 10th position we have Leslie Kick Break with 0, Johan with 0, Yemia with 0, and Gypsy with 0. 9th position we have CBD Houdini with 1, 10th Crush with 1, Arama with 0, and Boris with 1. 12th position we have Rev Aditi with 1, X God with 1, Pegasus with 6, and UNK FX with 1. 13th position we have Deadshot with 0, Exotic Batting with 0. 14th position we have RC Detection with 2. 15th position we have RC Player with 0, Exotic Zyrus with 0, and Exotic Emil with 0. 16th position we have Roku with 0, T-Dominate X17 with 0, Kaldai with 1, RG Virus with 1. 17th position we have Zid with 0, and Shaw with 2, and Justin Adi with 0, and Justin Johnny with 2. 18th position we have Fix Gaming with 0.